Good morning, everybody. Here's to week 2, day 2. I woke up this morning thinking, I think I'm in a movie called Groundhog Day, huh? Crazy! But nonetheless, I even put earrings on today because I was feeling it. Or I wasn't feeling it, so I was trying to feel it. Anyway, gosh, we can do this. We can do hard things. That's what we tell the kids every day. We can do hard things, right? Maybe you need to kiss your brain today. That's what we do to say thanks, brain, when we do hard things, right? So kiss your brain today if you need to. As I've been looking over my BYU students' work that they're posting online, and then we're posting here, if you want to look at some of their read-alouds, I'm posting them on YouTube. And so you're welcome to look at them if you need some read-alouds for your kids to look at, or for you just to look at while you're on the bed snuggling with your kid. But one of my students, Miss Kaylee, is in charge of the literacy activities, and we've posted some of her ideas before about shaving cream. She had another fun idea that was talking about taking a feather and writing in sand. And I think you could do that with flour too, right? I'd never thought about feathers before, but that would be a fun literacy thing. And you could use both sides of the feather, right? The feathery side as well as the other side that's a little bit more pointed in that. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about a read aloud today. We've been posting a read aloud each day, and sometimes it's nice just to turn on a book and let your kids listen to that. Oh, by the way, if you don't know this already, Audible has books for free right now for children. So if you're looking for a good read aloud, Audible is posting it right now for free. So let's talk about a good read aloud today. The first thing that you want to make sure is just talk about what's going on in the story. There really are some books that it's just like, you just got to read the book, right? And then you can go back in and you can talk about it. But talk about what's going on, seeing what the children are understanding, helping them see a little bit more of what you're understanding. My favorite books to do this with are books that have another story going on behind what's actually being told, right? Rosie's Walk is my favorite book for that. And so if you can get it, it's online as well. You can watch it online, but it's one of those stories that the words are telling a whole different story than the pictures are telling behind it. So Rosie's Walk, it's a great book for that. So talk to them about what's going on in the story, right? From their perspective, from your perspective. The second thing to do is ask them, do a little predicting with them. What do you think is going to happen next? Before we turn this next page, what do you think might happen, right? And get their brain thinking, right? And some of them are just so impatient, like, just turn the page. I know, but we got to figure out, what do you think? What does your brain think might be happening here, right? So build it up for them. Tell them what your brain thinks might be happening. Especially it's fun when you haven't read the book before, right? And you're like, ooh, yes, I was right. Anyway, ask them what they'll think, what will happen next. The third thing is ask them what they think the characters are feeling, right? We just had a lesson on characters, right? Who the characters were in a story and what they were trying to do. And there's usually a problem, right, in a story. And so what the problem was that they were trying to solve. But ask them what they were feeling. You know what? If you were that frog in that story, what do you think you'd feel? Right? That's kind of hard for them. That's pretty abstract for 5-, 6-year-olds to be able to do, right? Because that's not necessarily online for their brain yet. But ask them, what do you think they're feeling right now? Right? And you may have to give them a couple of feelings to talk about. Do you think they're feeling like embarrassed about this, or are they just nervous? What's the difference between embarrassed and nervous, right? Having them and giving them some examples from your life, right? This is a time when I have felt embarrassed or I felt nervous, right? Be real with your kids, especially during times like this. They need to know that you are not necessarily, well, yes, we are. We're superwomen and supermen, right? But the kids need to know that we have anxious feelings as well, and this is how we deal with them, right? So I just texted my niece today. I usually am obviously in an office or in a classroom, and I have some anxious feelings that I deal with on a regular basis. But this is what I use, right? I use lotion. When I turned 40, I had one of my preschoolers give me 40 bottles of lotion that were this size. So this is what I do. I texted her today and said, hey, thanks for the lotion. It's usually in my desk, but today it's right by my computer, and that's what I do with it. So when I start to feel a little anxious, get a little lotion, smell it, and my life seems to be a little bit better for a bit. So ask them what they think the characters are feeling, right? Talk about those feelings. And then ask them to look for words or letters that they recognize, right? Start making some matches. Well, I see a D for Dory, and I see, oh, there's an L for Lily, right? And there's an A for Aaliyah. So help them figure out, help them start putting those together. Those that are just learning sight words, right? Where's the sight words that you're working on, right? So just have fun with them. Have a nice read aloud. Like I said, some of them get a little impatient because they just want you to read the story. That's great. They love to read it again. So go back over and read it again and have that conversation with them. Here's to good read alouds today. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.